By the end of 2027, millionaires will not look the way most people imagine. They won't all be loud. They won't all be flashy. They won't all talk about money. Many of them will look ordinary. But inside, something fundamental will be different because becoming a millionaire is not a moment. It's a sequence of decisions made long before the money appears, and those decisions follow 5 very specific steps. Step 1, you stopped thinking in goals and started thinking in identity. Most people say, I want to make a million. Millionaires think differently. They ask, what kind of person naturally creates a million and keeps it? Because goals expire, identity compounds. In 2025 and 2026, while others were chasing motivation, you began to reshape the way you saw yourself. Not as someone trying to become rich, but as someone who operates at a higher financial standard. You stopped romanticizing struggle. You stopped glorifying being busy. You stopped confusing exhaustion with progress. You raised your internal baseline, what you tolerate, what you expect, what you consider normal, and once your standards changed, your decisions followed. Step 2, you learned to think long. While others stayed short, most people live in 30-day timelines. They want fast results, instant proof, quick validation. You chose a different game. You started asking questions like, what will this decision look like in 2 years? Will this scale? Does this compound or does it expire? While others optimized for comfort, you optimized for positioning. You understood that wealth is built quietly at first, invisible to outsiders, boring to people addicted to urgency, and you were okay with that because you knew the most dangerous trap is short-term thinking dressed up as ambition. Step 3, you stopped trading time and started building leverage. At some point, a switch flipped. You realized that effort alone does not create wealth. Leverage does. So you began to ask different questions. How can one action create multiple results? How can one skill open many doors? How can one system work even when I step away? You invested in skills that scale, in assets that grow, in brands, systems, visibility, equity. You stopped asking, how much can I earn this month? And started asking, how many times can this pay me? That shift alone separated you from 90% of people. Step 4, you became emotionally regulated around money. This is the step almost no one talks about, but it's the one that breaks or builds everything. You learn to stop making financial decisions from fear, from urgency, from comparison. You trained yourself to stay calm when money moved, when numbers fluctuated, when results lagged behind effort. You stopped panicking, stopped forcing, stopped self-sabotaging momentum because you understood something critical. Wealth does not respond to desperation. It responds to stability. And once your nervous system learned how to hold more, money began to stay longer. Step 5. You chose environments that reflected your future, not your past. This was the most uncomfortable step. You left rooms that no longer matched your direction. You stopped over-explaining your goals. You stopped shrinking your vision to stay relatable. You surrounded yourself with standards, not opinions, with people who normalized growth, risk, and responsibility. Not because you were better, but because you were becoming different. You understood that environment is not a detail, it is a multiplier. And this is what happened by the end of 2027. You didn't wake up suddenly rich. You woke up prepared. Prepared to manage money. Prepared to grow it. Prepared to keep it. The million was not a miracle. It was a reflection of how you thought when no one was watching, of how you chose when it was uncomfortable, of how you stayed consistent when results were quiet. Most people will look at millionaires in 2027 and ask, how did they do it? But you know the truth. It started years earlier, with 5 steps, taken deliberately, quietly, relentlessly, and once those steps were taken, the outcome was inevitable. If you're ready to think differently, move differently, and build wealth intentionally, subscribe, and start becoming richer in mindset, decisions, and reality.